Hollywood is all the way on the other side of the country, but the talent that ends up in Hollywood, that comes from all over the place, and we've got some of that talent joining us on the couch right now. This is Simon Keenitz Kincaid, a writer, and Simon, you have a new movie coming out that you guys are sort of going all over and promoting. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you all for having me here. So I have a film that I wrote and produced called Watching Mr. Pearson that is starting to play in theaters across the country right now. It's an independent film that we made here on the East Coast. I'm originally from Maryland myself, and even though I've been in California and Hollywood and all sorts of places, we're bringing the film back here and to other local communities where we have connections to tell this story.
Yeah, so why don't we dive into the story itself? Because I understand it's also got a pretty close personal connection to you. Was this sort of a cathartic film for you in some ways?
It absolutely was, yeah. So the movie is about a former movie star, a fictional movie star named Robert Pearson, who lives in a big seaside mansion, but he has started to struggle with dementia and kind of cognitive decline. And it's really about his relationship with his two home health aides, the two caretakers who are there with him day and night, taking care of him, meeting his needs. They discover that they can reenact his old films with him, and it kind of brings him back to life and brings him back into itself. Also brings up a lot of ethical questions and some complicated conflicts. And he starts to, things start to get a little weird and a little loopy around the house. But my personal connection to the film, my grandfather battled Alzheimer's for the last 9 years of his life, and he was enduring that while we were writing this project. We sort of took a lot of those ideas and stories and experiences we'd hear from family members and caregivers who were taking care of people with dementia and other similar conditions, and then combined that with our love of old Hollywood movies, and that's kind of where this project came from.
But what does it feel like to then see it on the screen once you've sort of given it over to the actors and to the directors and to everybody doing it?
Yeah, it's really been very gratifying. I got to watch it on a big screen in a theater with the surround sound and everything for the first time this past weekend, and it was just really surreal. You're remembering all the things that went into it and all the days on set and what was going on behind the scenes. You're sometimes noticing things and going, I wish I had done that differently, or critiquing yourself, but ultimately being around other people and hearing people's responses to the film that have been pretty positive so far has just been, it's been a thrill.
Yeah, I mean, just as you have a personal connection to a story like that, I'm sure many, especially here in our area, we've got a lot of retirees, and I think there are a lot of family members that have either gone through something similar or watched another family member go through something similar, especially kind of in that pseudo or caretaker role.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so if folks are interested in catching your film somewhere nearby, where can people see it?
Absolutely. So we are going to be playing at Movies at Midway here in Rehoboth, starting on Friday, April 17th and running through April 23rd. Potentially longer if we can sell enough tickets.
Yeah.
So close by in your communities, at your local theater, we're really trying to do a grassroots release where we partner with small theaters and local theaters around the country to help support them and help support us. So check it out, Movies at Midway, and you can also go to our website, Watching Mr. Pearson, that has our showtimes around the country.
Fantastic.
What does it take to get a movie, especially an independent film,
actually
into theaters? What is that process like? Because it seems almost impossible.
Yeah, we were a little intimidated when we set out to try and do that. We felt very strongly that this would be something, that it's a film about community and being around each other and taking care of each other. We felt like it should be, seen in theaters first because there's that communal aspect to it. Well, we were nervous because we don't have a major studio, we don't have a marketing budget, and we were worried that they wouldn't give us the time of day. But as I was saying, partnering with smaller local theaters, places that are actually looking for events and sort of more community-oriented things, actually the results came back pretty quickly, and we were reaching out and folks were pretty enthusiastic about it. And so even just getting in for 2 to 3 nights in a bunch of different places, bringing people together, it worked out honestly better than I could have expected.
Yeah.
Given the size of our movie, which is not very big.
Well, I have a host of more questions for you. If you don't mind, we'd like to keep you around for another segment. Before we go, though, just remember, ladies and gentlemen, this weekend, that movie in the theaters here in town at Midway. Go see it if you can. But we got more questions coming for Simon, so don't go anywhere. CoastLife will be right back.
Well, CoastLife, before the break, we were chatting with Simon Kincaid, a writer out in California, but grew up here on the East Coast and is promoting his latest film, Watching Mr. Pearson, here locally. So Simon hasn't gone anywhere. We still have more questions for him. And I think especially ahead of, next month here locally, we've got the Slower Lower Film Festival coming up. And a lot of local talent, writers, directors, actors. What would you say to maybe those who are just kind of getting their foot in the door, or they're just having fun getting creative to kind of keep at it or take that film to the next level?
Yeah, keep at it is always just great advice. I think finding people who are at a similar level to you and have a similar level of passion and enthusiasm that you really connect with and you like being around, because when you make a movie with someone, you're around them 24/7.
Yeah.
So that's pretty important. Just start small. Start with the people closest to you, the people around you. This movie was made with a lot of friends, family, repeat collaborators, and folks that are some of the closest people to me in my life. So I think that's the only way to do it. And then if you can keep growing it and building it from there, fantastic. But as you said, it's really just about the joy of being creative and collaborative around other people that I really enjoy about it.
Yeah.
Now, we're having a great time sitting on the couch with you asking questions, but this weekend on Saturday specifically, if the folks at home want to get out and maybe have a chance to not only see the movie, but talk to you, talk to other people involved, there's going to be an opportunity. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, absolutely. So on our Saturday showings on the 18th, we will be doing like Q&A talkbacks after the film with myself and with our director, Dylan Bentlage, just to talk a little bit more about the movie, about its themes, and hopefully engage with the audience and hear people's stories, answer their questions, and connect. And that's been a big part of our release. Like I said, the key word has really just been connection. So we want to do that everywhere we can, and that's coming up this Saturday here in Rehoboth.
Yeah, I mean, what a great opportunity for you to kind of sit on the other side of this film being fully filmed, produced, made, and get to ask audience members questions, but also for the audience to ask you some questions as well. And I know before the break we talked about this too, that the creating of this film, not necessarily a Hollywood budget backing it.
Not even close. We knew it was going to be a challenge. We made certain decisions to make sure that it could still feel as polished and exciting and professional as possible. I think we did a pretty good job. People will have to judge that for themselves. But we kept it contained. It's really about this older actor and his two caretakers. So it's a few characters. We filmed some fake old movies from the I say from the 90s and 60s and 70s. They're not really, but to sort of give a little bit more depth to Robert's past as a film actor. And so that was a way that we tried to. That was a challenge, again, on a small budget, but that was a way we tried to sort of make it feel bigger in scope while still keeping it within our means, I guess.
Is that something as a writer that you're thinking about as you start to put scenes together in your head? You're going like, I could go this way. Oh wait, no, that's like an extra $30,000 if I try to do that.
Yes, that is definitely in the back of your brain. You don't want to be too hindered by it, but as a producer on the movie as well, I knew that it was going to be partially my job to actually execute those things. And so, I didn't want to get myself into a corner by writing an extravagant car chase, for example.
Sure.
Now, this isn't the only thing you've done. You've written on other things. You've written on Dilettantes, which right now I believe is streaming on Tubi, so you can go see that. What's it like to have done something, a piece of work that you can now go like, I'm at home, I'm flipping through. Hey, that's my stuff.
It's cool, yeah. You get a little, your heart starts beating faster. Like, wait, people can just go watch this? Oh my gosh, because you're never totally satisfied with your own work. But it is really cool. It's gratifying to see, even just walking by the marquee of the Atlantic Theaters movies at Midway the other day and watching Mr. Pearson up there. I'm not tired of it yet, of being like, I can't believe this. I did that, or we did that. The folks who all made this possible.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of people, that's a dream come true, and you get to see it. So if folks do want to come support you, they want to come see, what sounds like just a really heartfelt film, and one that I think is going to tug at a lot of heartstrings out there. Remind us again where people can see this right here in our area.
Perfect. So Watching Mr. Pearson will be playing from April 17th to April 23rd at Movies at Midway. We will be conducting a Q&A on the 18th on Saturday. And again, check our website for showtimes and dates around the country.
Fantastic. Well, Simon Kincaid, thank you so much for being here today. And thank you so much for your film, Watching Mr. Pearson. I think this is going to be a really great way to kick off some people's weekends and get to Q&A with you a little bit and just see something really special.
Thanks, folks. Yeah, appreciate it.
We've got more Coast Life for you, though, coming up. More fun coming at you.